Hey guys, hope you're doing very well. In today's video, I don't know what to call this. I want it to be like Tattoo Enthusiast Reacts To, but then I want to do like a tattoo etiquette video because like I haven't done one of those in such a long time, but normally with my tattoo etiquette videos they're a lot more structured and they're, what's the word I'm looking for? They're just more thought about. I definitely write notes and stuff when I do those videos and I haven't written any notes, but I kind of know what I'm expecting anyway. Because this has been very requested. These two ladies have popped into my DMs, not them personally, but people have been sending me their videos and screenshots and etc. for quite a while now, so I'm here, I'm doing the video. So yeah, the two ladies in question that have recently got tattoos that are kind of controversial to a lot of people, a lot of you guys, are Tana Mongeau. She's just a walking drama machine basically. And then Chrisspy, I think her name is. I know of Tana Mongeau mainly because of like her drama situations with like TanaCon and then her racism past and what have you. And then Chrisspy, I'm not too familiar with her. I think if I remember, she used to or does very elaborate like avant-garde makeup, like with skulls and crystals and stuff. I may be wrong there. If I'm wrong, I will write it somewhere in this video, but if I'm right, I will put up some pictures here and there, obviously. But yeah, these two ladies have recently got very visible tattoos and they are not heavily tattooed. Now, in this day and age, tattoos are a lot more accepted. A lot more placements of work accept visible tattoos when it comes to like hands or necks or whatever. It's still touchy, but compared to say 10 years ago, visible tattoos are a lot more accepted, but there are companies, businesses, people that still do not like them and are very vocal about it, and it's annoying. In case you're new here and you've just stumbled across this video, I am a tattoo vlogger. I'm just going to call it that, a tattoo vlogger. I am tattooed, I'm wearing long sleeves today, but in case you need proof, I am quite tattooed myself. Most of my back's filled out, some of my legs is filled out, etc. Like I've been there, done that type thing, and I just do content advising people what's good when it comes to tattoos and how to find a good tattoo artist and etc. Anyway, so yeah, Tana isn't very heavily tattooed. I believe she has like one other tattoo, maybe two tattoos, but compared to say most of my subscribers and me, she is what we would say not heavily tattooed because she's not visibly tattooed at all. And then Chrisspy, I hope I'm saying her name right, I think it's Chrisspy. Her first tattoo, from what I've seen and from the video links I've been sent and the screenshots and what I've seen on Twitter and stuff, she got her first tattoo on her hand and it's not a small one, it's quite a big one. So I think we should just go ahead and look at the videos first and then I think we'll discuss from there as to, you know, what the problems are with getting visible tattoos as a first tattoo and how things have changed since that has been a problem, if that makes any sense. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is Tana. She got a face tattoo. The thumbnail looks quite clickbaity. It looks like she got it on like her face, like around about here, but I believe it's kind of near her ear from the screenshots I've seen. I haven't watched these videos. I like my reactions to be like genuine and stuff like that. So I've got her video up here. Yeah, so by the looks of things, she has one of those eyeliner stamps right here. That's not a real tattoo, that's far too dark.
Let me see. And like it's kind of cool there.
Fucking love it.
See how it fucking love it.
I like it going up like that. The movement is awesome. Okay, yo, I'm saying that looks amazing there. You could also do it lower, like
Fuck
right
you.
here. Okay, do it there.
Right off.
Do it there. Go.
We're ready. Like any sane human would be. Actually, a sane human probably wouldn't be getting a face tattoo. I don't know. You're pretty sane.
Okay, first of all, I don't like that comment at all. There's a lot of sane people that get face tattoos. I know a few of you guys have face tattoos, you're very much sane, you know. I don't like that whole you have to be a bit fucking mental to get a face tattoo. That's not okay. Don't agree with that statement.
Oh yeah. Dude. This is not real life right now.
I don't even know what this is, by the way. To me that looks like a couple of dots. I'm questioning everything.
This is not real life. Mod, you're officially a vlogger.
Tana?
Okay, so give me your
It's 11:11.
This is an angel's kiss right here. That's what it means.
Is this really? I've never heard that. 11:11 also apparently means an angel's kiss.
Yo, Tana.
Oh fuck, I forgot this like hurt.
gonna barely feel it. We're gonna barely feel it.
Oh my god, I forgot this.
The thing that's bugging me with this a little bit, I don't know if it's my age or whatever, but all these people crowding around her while she's getting this tattoo. Like, if I was a tattoo artist, I would be so annoyed. I would be so annoyed that all these people are crowding around me, filming, being obnoxious while getting the tattoo, you know? Like, I guess this is the kind of thing that Tana does. This is kind of the YouTuber thing that people do when they get a tattoo, apart from the people that actually talk about tattoos on YouTube. If you ever notice, like, Quickened or Nibbles or Katrin being obnoxious like this, if they do a tattoo vlog, absolutely not. Like, we have the utmost respect for tattoo artists, etc. We're not like this at all. In fact, I struggle filming getting a tattoo because I feel kind of obnoxious and rude doing it. I'll obviously ask permission if I ever do, but it makes me so uncomfortable watching this. I don't know why. I'm just like, oh, stop. The tattoo artist doesn't seem to mind, but you know, like, it sends a bad impression to her audience. She has a lot of young followers, and this is why I do these type of tattoo etiquette reaction videos. It's just to kind of correct people and say, like, this isn't a cool thing. You're sending a wrong message to your followers. Be respectful of the studio and the artists involved. Some tattoo artists don't like being on camera. I've talked to a few myself that are uncomfortable when people take pictures of them and stuff, because they're just doing their job. At the end of the day, you wouldn't go into a bank and just film people counting out money, or you wouldn't just like take pictures of them doing their everyday job. So yeah, you have to ask permission and be courteous and respectful of these artists, because they're just doing their job. So this is a little bit uncomfortable to watch personally. I know it may not be a big deal to you guys, but I don't know.
What time is it?
It's 11:11.
Oh my god, she wrote 420.
It's amazing. That's amazing. She just writes like dumb bitch. Welcome to my TED Talk. Jordan, I'm so sorry. Trevor was literally like, I hope you can film tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna skip past this whole her getting a tattoo thing. I think from watching her other videos, I think this is in memorial to her best friend. I think, I could be wrong. So it is a personal, meaningful tattoo, which I'll give her credit for. I don't think we even get to see it. Am I?
In this tattoo journey over the course of the next 12 months, you will be seeing
Yeah, she's like trying to show it off and you can't really see it. I think it's like right in her ear and on her like hairline. Personally, I don't have an issue / problem with her having a tattoo like this, even though she doesn't have other visible tattoos. Should we talk about that now, or shall I wait until I've watched the other video? I think I'll watch the other video and I'll explain what the issue is with a lot of, you know, old school tattooers and old school tattooed people, with people getting visible tattoos without having other tattoos. But as Tana's tattoo is quite small, and honestly you can't fucking see it, like, let's be serious, it's not very visible, which is maybe a good thing for her because it is a personal, meaningful tattoo. Maybe she doesn't care about that kind of thing. It's not the worst thing I've seen. Honestly, you guys were probably waiting for me to roast her, but I'm not gonna roast her for it, you know. And with Tana, she is very financially secure. You know, she makes YouTube videos, she's good, you know. She's a very well-known face. If YouTube was to like crash and burn, she'd be okay. There's always Instagram, Twitter. She could maybe have her own show on TV or something. So she'd be okay if she was to get a big face tattoo. You've got to think of those things. In that sense of form, she's okay, but is she sending the right message to her subscribers and her young impressionable followers that it's okay to get a face tattoo? That's a little bit iffy. Because, you know, there could be like a 16-year-old girl watching this and she'd be like, oh, okay, Tana has a face tattoo, I'm gonna get a face tattoo too because she's done it, she's cool, she's, you know, doing her thing. But this 16-year-old girl doesn't have that financial security of, you know, a social media influencer job. It's a tough thing, it's tough, but I'm glad it's not huge and obnoxious. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go on to Chrisspy now. By the thumbnail, it looks like she got her first tattoo. I think it says I got a tattoo, and I'm guessing it is her first tattoo. Before I make any confirmed statements, we better watch this video. Her video is 18 minutes long. Obviously, I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. So yeah, let's get going.
I'm getting my first tattoo in like
first tattoo. She just said it there. I'm getting my first tattoo. Okay, let's go.
20 minutes.
You know what's Derek?
Yo, what's up? Dr. Boss Chrisspy.
Now, I obviously don't know Chrisspy's home situation. To me, this looks like this is done at her home, in her kitchen. We all know how I feel about that. I would much rather prefer if people were to go to a studio where you know it's 110% clean and at the standards it should be to get a tattoo. Someone's kitchen, I mean, okay, kitchens are relatively normally clean. This looks like a clean kitchen. It doesn't look like a disgusting greasy mess. But is it at the same standard of a tattoo studio would be? I don't know. But looking at the setup here, the tattoo artist has used cling film. He's wrapped everything up. He's wearing gloves. So he is taking the precautions to do a safe tattoo. So I don't know, should I let this slide? I'd love to know your guys' opinions on this. Again, Chrisspy, I don't know her audience. They may be a little bit older than Tana's audience. So there could be, you know, from late teens to mid-20s, 30s. Still though, is it sending a good impression? I ain't sure. Okay, I fast forwarded it right where the tattoo is. That's awesome. Well done, Lauren. So the tattoo, it's a nice tattoo. The line work seems good and it's also nicely spaced out in places. So with line work, I've discussed in a few videos before, line work tattoos do blow out a little bit. The line work gets a little bit thicker over time. It's just the way your body ages, etc. There's a lot of intricate detail within the headdress of the elephant, which may end up getting lost in sort of like 10-20 years time. Not straight away. In 10 to 20 years time that line work is going to blow out and we may lose a little bit of detail within that headdress, which again is to be expected. So I don't think she's going to be too worried about stuff like that, honestly. I mean, this is her first tattoo. She's probably not thought about things like that.
So you're not supposed to work out. I was advised.
So the tattoo has actually ended up onto her finger. So we're not just stationed in the hand, we're on the finger, which is, in my opinion, okay. Like, finger tattoos aren't like a huge big deal. They're not as extreme as their full hand tattoo, which she has there. She has pretty much a full hand tattoo as her first tattoo. And by the sounds of the thing, she's going to go and work out, even though she's been advised not to.
Not to work out, at least for today, for my tattoo, because I guess like sweating is bad for the tattoo. Like, you're supposed to keep it really clean. I'm gonna skip the gym today, but to be honest, you guys, like, I need to get back into a workout routine. I have no excuse. I think I said that last time I vlogged, but I'm like really looking forward to just getting back into a routine.
So I don't know if she's actually going to work out, but she's right, you shouldn't work out until the tattoo is at least at the scabby stage, because the tattoo is an open wound for a good sort of 2-3 days. It depends how fast you heal, to be honest with you, but for the first sort of 2-3 days it's kind of crucial to keep that tattoo as clean as possible to prevent infections. And going to a gym, I mean, I'm guessing most of us have been to a gym or seen a gym. It's a disgusting, sweaty place. People's sweat is all over the equipment. It's not sanitary at all. And even though it's on the back of her hand, all it takes is her to knock it on something or rub it against something, and she could rub it on someone's disgusting sweat and the tattoo could get infected. Like, it's not a good thing. I don't know if she actually ends up going to work out. Let me just skip through. No, I don't think she does, but giving out like misinformation to your subscribers about tattoos, especially when you have a large following, it's not, it makes me so uncomfortable, honestly. Yeah, she has 1.6 million subscribers, so that is a large audience, and this video has been viewed 131,000 times, so that's 131,000 people that have seen her getting a hand tattoo as a first tattoo, and also seen her like debating on, you know, tattoo aftercare. Like the tattoo artist has told her specifically, yo, don't work out because like it's not good for your tattoo, but then she's like debating it. So yeah, let's just talk about my concerns when it comes to visible tattoos as first tattoos. I've done a few videos about this before. I've definitely talked about it a few times before. I'd love to know your guys' feedback on this and how you see visible tattoos as a first tattoo or a second tattoo or a third tattoo or whatever. Let me know if your first tattoo was a visible hand tattoo and how people received it and what people thought about it. Let's just have a good discussional piece down below in the comment section, because at the end of the day all our opinions are going to be different and it's good to discuss and see how other people see it and see it from other people's points of views. Okay, so let's go back to what I was saying earlier about earning visible tattoos. Now, back in the olden days, when people would have tattoos, you would never really see anyone with a hand tattoo or neck tattoo unless the rest of their body was covered. And it comes from like an old school way of doing things. You have to, what old school tattoo artists would call it is earn your hand tattoos and your neck tattoos, your face. So you have to go through the, you know, go through other tattoo placements, and then when you're sort of running out of room, or you know, you've had a few tattoos, you kind of have the right to have visible tattoos. It's an old school way of doing things. There's a lot of artists out there that still think these types of things, and in my opinion that's fair enough. There's a lot of tradition within tattooing, and if people feel like that still, that's totally fine. I'm on the fence with this type of thing. I sway both ways, to be honest. So that's where a lot of people would get annoyed at Chrisspy or Tana for getting a face tattoo, even though Tana's tattoo is quite small, but still it's there. And then Chrisspy has a big hand and finger tattoo. So let's go into sort of modern day things. Getting a hand tattoo now or a face tattoo, I still feel like face tattoos are kinda, they're not extreme, but they're the most extreme tattoo you could get, I would say. Even though Tana's tattoo, again, is quite a small one, it's still a face. But I would personally advise people to start on their arms or legs as a first placement tattoo. To me, that's the best way to start. It's not so painful, it's not a big commitment. You can always hide those tattoos under clothes. So if you're not keen on looking tattooed, or you don't like the tattoo way of life, you can always hide the tattoos for whatever reason. And then, you know, you can always work up and get your back tattooed, or your chest tattooed, or a sternum tattoo, a stomach tattoo, whatever. My advice is always to someone that isn't very sure, I would always say, you know, arm tattoo or leg tattoo to start off with. I started off with a wrist tattoo, which is quite a popular placement to get a first tattoo. Ignore how bad my first tattoo is. This is why I make these videos, is because I try and advise people to not make the same mistakes as I did when I was younger. But yeah, my first tattoo was this star tattoo here. I obviously worked up my way to get better tattoos as the time went along. If you are 110% sure that you want a chest tattoo as a first tattoo, or a back tattoo as a first tattoo, or something else that is somewhat visible but you can still hide it, I'm all for it. I'm like, yeah, if you think you can handle the pain and you love the way tattoos look and you want to be a tattooed person and you want to have the judgment that comes along with being a tattooed person, because even though, like I was saying, tattoos are more accepted nowadays, you still get the odd person that's like, why would you do that to yourself? What are you going to look like when you're older? What about when you get married? All this stuff, like you get all these questions and you've just got to be prepared for that. So that's why I always say start with an arm, start with a leg, and then you can choose when to show it and stuff like that. My issue with people just going ahead and getting a hand tattoo as a first tattoo is like, okay, one, you've never had a tattoo before. You don't know the pain, you don't know how to heal a tattoo, you don't know really, you know, the whole process, like you've never been through it before, and then starting with a very, very visible tattoo, anything can go wrong. You may end up hating having this hand tattoo because you've never had a tattoo before. So like when you get a tattoo, it's quite a shock to the system. Even still to this day, sometimes I'll get a tattoo and I'm like, oh wow, okay, all that skin is now covered up with a tattoo. It's a little bit of a shock, you know? So getting a first tattoo on a very visible place where you see it daily, like you see your hands all the time because you're constantly using them and then in front of your face, it's a bit tricky, you know? And you may end up hating it, you may end up regretting it, and it's there and you will see it continuously, like all the time, and it's not something you can hide under some clothes unless you walk around with a glove on your hand all the time. And also going back to the healing thing, you've never healed a tattoo before, so you don't know your preferred healing method, and healing a hand tattoo or a face tattoo or a neck tattoo or something that's very visible is hard. It's really hard to heal a hand tattoo, especially when it's quite a big one. You know, you can't really wrap it because how? If you put like Sanaderm on it, which is a high-tech cling film type thing. It's like a big plaster, but it's for like tattoos and burns and stuff. It's a really good product, and my regular viewers will be like, yeah, we know, you talk about it all the time. You could maybe use that, but because you move your hands so much and then your hands are always getting wet because you're washing them, using Sanodem on a hand is probably not a good idea, to be honest. When you get tattooed, you have a lot of trial and error with healing tattoos because there's so many different techniques and methods, and healing a hand tattoo anyway is very, very difficult. Like I was just saying, it's kind of hard to figure out what you want to do with it, honestly, and you don't really know what you want to do with a hand tattoo until you've been through your trial and error with healing other tattoos that are on your body. So I know for difficult to reach areas like my back, I like Sanodem, and for areas that don't move so much, so like lower shin, I like to use Sanodem. But if something is continuously moving, I know for a fact I need to use something that is like an old school method with like cleaning it and then ointments and maybe a bit of cling film here and there. When you have never had a tattoo before, you don't know all of this, you know, you haven't been through all of this, and like I was saying, hand tattoos are very notoriously difficult to heal. You definitely need a few touch-ups here and there also, because, you know, hand tattoos are always on show. They don't age as well as, say, as an arm tattoo, back tattoo or whatever. You do need touch-ups as the time goes by. But if you've never had a tattoo before and if you've never done your research before, you're basically putting yourself in the deep end. I guess, like, for some people that's fine and that's okay, but it's one of those things you've got to think about, and this is why I make videos like this, and this is why I'm making a video about this topic, because people need to be aware of stuff like this. Another reason why getting a hand tattoo as a first tattoo is a bad idea is because, again, you may not like it, etc. But it's also when it comes to jobs. Now, like I was saying, most places are very accepting of tattoos nowadays. A hand tattoo really isn't the biggest of deals, but if you wanted to work in like a corporate place or as a lawyer, it's a no-go. You can't have a hand tattoo. So if Chrisspy wants to, you know, take a different direction in her life later down the line, and she has this hand tattoo, and it's kind of just like, it's there, you know? Obviously Chrisspy, like I was saying about Tana with her face tattoo, she's a very well-known YouTuber, social media influencer, whatever you want to call them. So if YouTube was to crash to the ground or Instagram was to crash to the ground, I feel like maybe some kind of makeup company would snap her up and say, hey, come and work for our company, do social media for us. I think she would be okay. So she's okay in that front if that's what she wants to do in her life maybe. But again, let's go back to the fact that she has all of these subscribers and followers that are maybe young and impressionable that wouldn't think about something like that. They would get their first tattoo on their hand without doing the whole, you know, getting other places tattooed. And they would be stuck in a tricky situation where they can't get the job they want, or, you know, they've ended up with a hand tattoo that hasn't healed correctly, and they don't know what to do with it, and they're kind of questioning it. They're like, oh my god, why is my hand looking like this? It doesn't look like other hand tattoos. It's a case of going back to that old school method of you have to kind of earn your visible tattoos. You have to go through other tattoos to be able to get another very visible tattoo. You know, I'm very much on the fence because I sometimes have those old school methods that are like over here. I'm like, I like that method of like, you know, get other tattoos first to see if you like being tattooed, if you like the tattooed way of life. I know it sounds like I'm making it into a big deal. It's not really that much of a big deal, but it's one of those things you kind of have to think about. But then I'm kind of on like a new school kind of method way of like, well, okay, maybe she just wanted that hand tattoo and that's the only tattoo she wants and she's happy with it, and you know, she's fine financially, and you know, she has job security and all that jazz. But then I'm sort of like in the middle of both of those, and I'm thinking, okay, she has a lot of impressionable subscribers, followers, etc, and they don't really know how serious a hand tattoo can be. So I don't know, I'm kind of stuck in the middle here. I don't really have a definite opinion. I'm kind of opinionless on Chrisspy's tattoo situation. It's the same for Tana also. I'd absolutely love to know how you feel all about this. And yeah, if there's any sort of videos you'd like me to react to, talk about, in depth or whatever, just comment them down below and I will see if I can get round to it for you guys. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing very well, and until my next video, bye.